I know you've got a can of chickpeas hiding away in your cupboard, so today I've got for you 3 tasty snack recipes you can make right now. Starting off, we've got these incredibly Moorish curried crispy chickpeas. Then crunchy and fragrant Za'atar spiced chickpea crackers. And then last but not least, we've got these delicious chickpea and courgette fritters seasoned with flavors like garlic, lemon, and rosemary. So let me know which one you're going to try in the comments section, although you should really try them all, and let's get cooking. To start these crispy chickpeas, we're going to rinse, drain, and then dry the chickpeas on a tea towel. In case you're wondering what it says on the tea towel, it says the older you get, the better you get, unless you're a banana. But then if you're making banana bread, I'm not sure that's so true. Anyway, get your chickpeas nice and dry. The drier you get them, the crispier they're going to get in the oven. As you rub them around in the tea towel, the skins of the chickpeas are going to start to come off. And you can then take these off completely, and this is going to result in even crispier chickpeas. Put your chickpeas to the side. We'll now make the spicy sauce we're going to coat them in. Starting with some curry powder, you can use a spicy one or a mild one, it's up to you. Then some cumin seeds and granulated garlic, and a pinch of turmeric for that extra golden colour. Next we've got some tahini, which is ground sesame seeds. I'm using some olive oil in these crispy chickpeas as I do find it makes them slightly crispier, but you don't have to use it. You can just increase the tahini by about 10 grams and it'll be absolutely fine. Go ahead and drizzle some olive oil in. Then we are of course going to season it with salt and pepper. Get yourself a whisk or a spoon and just mix it until well combined. Throw in your dried chickpeas and mix them around until they're well coated in that beautiful seasoning. They're already looking delicious, so that is a good sign. Pour your chickpeas out onto a lined baking tray. We're then going to spread them out evenly, trying to get as many gaps in between each one as you can, but don't worry too much, you don't want to spend your whole day doing this. I started with a spatula, but then they were so sticky it was much easier just using my hands. So that's looking pretty good. We're going to get them in the oven for around 25 to 30 minutes. Halfway through the cooking, give them a little move around to make sure they're all cooking evenly. They're cooked once they're beautiful and golden brown. You can also give them a taste to make sure they're crispy, and if they're not, just pop them back in the oven. Okay, let's give these curried crispy chickpeas a taste. I'm just going to throw in a little handful here. Oh, that was a good one. Oh yeah, so crispy. They're beautifully crispy. They've got a lovely Moorish curried flavour to them, and they're nice and salty, which is exactly what you want with a little snack. They're super tasty on their own, but they're also great for putting on soups or on top of a salad for some extra crunch. You could also switch up the seasoning, so like an Italian seasoning would be nice, or a barbecue one with like smoked paprika, oregano, that sort of thing. But yeah, definitely give these a go. They're a nice little high protein snack for the afternoon or to take to work, that sort of thing. And yeah, enjoy. Next up, we're making the Za'atar spiced chickpea crackers, and of course, it's starting with 1 can of chickpeas. Drain and rinse them. You don't have to dry them this time, and we're going to throw them into a food processor. Blend them until they're fairly pureed, but don't worry if there's a few little chunks left. Although the smoother you get it, the easier it'll be to roll out the crackers. We'll then add some rolled oats, and we're going to blend it for a couple more minutes. Until the mixture looks something like this. You can blend it a bit more if you want it to be a less rustic cracker. We'll then add some seeds for some added texture, flavour, and nutrients. To season the chickpea crackers, I'm using a Middle Eastern spice mix called Za'atar, and it looks a little bit like this. It's got oregano, sumac, cumin seeds, marjoram, and it's got a lovely fragrant flavour. It smells so good, and it works really well with the chickpeas. So if you can find this, then that's great, but if not, you can get the individual spices like the oregano, the cumin seeds, sumac, or you can make your own spice mix out of the spices that you love. It's totally up to you. So get your spices in there. I'm going for about 1.5 tablespoons. Then I'm going to add some olive oil to help bind the mixture. You could use water, but the crackers will take slightly longer to bake. Next, some zested garlic for a bit of extra flavour. And then finally, season it with some salt and pepper. Simply blend the mixture until it starts to form a dough. If it doesn't look like it's coming together, just add a touch more olive oil or water. Sometimes I'll give the mixer a little shake to help it come together, although I'm not sure that it's recommended for the health of your mixer. Once your dough looks a little bit like this, then you're good to go. I've divided the dough into 2, so we'll be doing it in 2 batches. We're going to roll it out between 2 pieces of parchment paper until it's about 3 millimeters thin. The thinner you roll out the cracker dough, then the quicker it's going to cook, and also the crispier it's going to get, so it's worth spending some time here. This is roughly how thin you want to get it. I'll then get a pizza cutter to cut the dough into cracker-sized pieces. You could also just use a knife. Then slide it onto a baking tray, hopefully in a more elegant way than I have done here. We'll bake these for 15 to 20 minutes on the top shelf of the oven until they're a light golden colour. You'll notice that the outside crackers cook a little bit quicker than the inside ones, so you may want to rearrange them during cooking so that they all cook evenly. So there you have the chickpea and oat crackers, and it's time to give them a taste. Super crunchy. Yummy. Really tasty. There's a lovely nuttiness coming from the seeds and the oats, which have been toasted in the oven. They'd be great with some vegan cheese, like some vegan cream cheese, or some hummus, or salsa, guacamole. Any dip really would be really nice with these, as they are super crunchy, nice bit of saltiness, and very Moorish. As with the chickpeas, you could switch up the seasonings. You could do lemon and thyme, or you could do some cheesy ones with nutritional yeast and mustard. So yeah, great little snack, super Moorish, super tasty, and yeah, give these ones a go. For the fritters, I'm using some lovely fresh summer vegetables. I've got a courgette, a pretty funky looking one if I might say so, and I've also got a nice big bunch of lovely spring onions. You're welcome to any vegetable that you like. You could do red pepper and sweet corn, or sweet potato with sun-dried tomato. Lots of options, as long as you chop them up really small or grate them so that they cook nice and evenly. On to our third and final recipe. We're going to be starting these chickpea fritters with 2 courgettes. Cut the ends off, we're then going to simply grate them. Then just scoop them into a tea towel. I'm using the one I used earlier to dry the chickpeas. Season them with salt and give it a quick mix. This is going to help draw out the moisture from the courgette, as courgettes, a bit like cucumbers, are very high in water. Twist the tea towel, we're going to squeeze out as much water as we can. You don't have to throw away this liquid, you can use it in like a soup or a stew later on. Once you've got as much liquid out as you can, we're going to finely chop some spring onions. If you can't get spring onions, then you can just use some white or red onion. Simply remove the top and the bottoms, cut them in half, and then finely chop them. Next, I'm going to finely chop some fresh rosemary. Personally, I'm not a fan of dried rosemary, so get some fresh if you can. We'll then add our drained chickpeas into a bowl and give them a good mash, either with a potato masher or with a fork. Once they look like this, we're going to add the rest of the ingredients, starting with some dried oregano, then some ground cumin, the spring onions that we just chopped, some gram flour. You could use other flours such as plain or wholemeal, they should work fine. The rosemary we just chopped, then the zest of 1 lemon. When zesting a lemon, instead of just moving the microplane, it helps to also move the lemon along it. Before you clean the microplane, we're going to zest in some fresh garlic. You're welcome to use dried if you like. The last ingredient going in will be that grated courgette, and then we're going to season it with salt and pepper. Get your hands in there and give it a good old mix until it's all well combined. Once it looks like this, you can refrigerate it for 10-20 minutes just to help firm it up. You don't have to though if you're in a rush. You're then going to shape your chickpea fritters. You can make them as big or as little as you like, but I like to keep them around 1 centimeter thick so that they cook throughout. One tip for when you shape them is to have a little bowl of water to dip your fingers in. This is going to help the mixture not stick to your hands. This recipe will make you around 12 small fritters. We'll then heat up a frying pan on a medium heat with 1 tablespoon of olive oil until it's nice and hot. Place your chickpea fritters in and we're going to fry them for 2 to 3 minutes until they're beautiful golden brown on both sides. I like to use my spatula to push down on them slightly so they get a nice even colour. And as you can hear, they're going to be beautiful and crispy. Once they're cooked, I like to place them onto a tea towel or some kitchen roll. This is going to soak up any excess oil and make sure they stay nice and crispy. I'll also then sprinkle over a little bit of extra sea salt. So here we have the chickpea and courgette fritters. I've just made a quick dip out of hummus and guacamole, and we're going to give them a quick taste. They are so good. They've got a nice crispy outside and then the inside is nice and smooth with the little crunchy bits of spring onion. You can really taste the garlic, the rosemary and the lemon coming through, and the flavours work great together. You've then got the freshness of the spring onion. So yeah, definitely give these a go. Perfect for meal prep, lunchtime, taking them to work as they're super portable. Just bring a bit of dip like some hummus or guacamole and yeah, you're good to go. Definitely give these bad boys a go. Okay, that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please do share it with anyone who you think would enjoy it, and I'll see you in a new video next week. Bye bye. Looking for some more plant-based goodness? Then check out this video.